So I don't know what happened before. I seem to have lost some of you, but we're back, and that's a good thing. And except I lost my glasses. They're probably in the piles of all the clothes I have on. Hang on. Oops, Bagwan's falling down. Discombobulated? Nah, no, it's Amma. Okay, so here we are. Resistance! Yippee! I'm loving it. Okay. So, I'll borrow Roy's glasses. So I wanted to talk about resistance today, and I'm going to see maybe some of you have put something in, but I remember one of the first times when I was in India, this would have been in 2006, and they said, when we're in conflict, there's always resistance. When we're in oneness, there's no conflict, i.e., when we're in oneness, there's no resistance. So I think resistance is one of those, it's a conceptual thing in many levels. You know, it basically, it's sort of an electrical, it's an experience that happens in electricity when there's resistance. But we use it in a metaphorical way to say, oh, I'm in resistance to that. And what does it mean to say I'm in resistance to something? You know, notice how you feel in the body just when I say that, when I say, oh, I'm in resistance, there's sort of like a stopping, there's a kind of a pushing energetically. You know, we've all heard that saying, that which we resist persists, because the resistance is in us. And we think we sort of have some sort of concept that if we resist it, it's going to disappear, it's going to go away. But really we're talking about some pressures. We're talking about pressures. There's something here and we're pressing. We're either taking a stand and it's moving, or we're trying to push it in some direction, mostly away from us, out of our realm. So the key thing about this, and this is the reason I'm doing this is because I did the process of being with the what is, which Doug G gave us in our ministers group last month. And that was such a powerful process. It was powerful for me. And I've already had the shift. So I don't have a lot of things right now in my life that I'm not experiencing just right in the moment. It's pretty much, if it's there, it's just happening and I'm experiencing the what is. Without really much, how can I say this? There's not really resistance. It's just I'm experiencing life. And what somebody else might determine as a negative thing, like this morning when somebody called me and said, I can't get on, I want to register for your course, I can't get on your website. No, my mind initially went to, well, maybe I typed in the wrong link when we sent the email. Elizabeth Sherwenka and I sent the email. But I'll just double check. I said, okay, I'll send you an email. There wasn't like, oh my God, it's just terrible. How could this be? We sent an email out and nobody can get in. And, you know, that's kind of the old story there. And do you go into, I must have made a mistake, I'm wrong, or is the person wrong? They're not doing it right. There's all sorts of stories that could be there. So I just thought, well, I'll go right into I'll try it, see what I can come up with. And it didn't come up. So I went immediately and contacted my server. And of course, they're having a problem. So it was like really boom, boom, boom. There was no big story around it for me. I was able to just be with the what is and just move through it. And there's nothing I can do right now. I mean, I could send an email out and say to people, my server's not working, but I don't even know who's opened those emails. This is coming out from our Bay Area. So just noticing when something in your life, when life is happening, life is, and you find yourself not being willing to be with whatever is there, there's resistance. Most of us have very subtle layers of that resistance. Where we go into story. We go into, it's about someone else. We go into, one of the big ones people go into is, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, there must be something wrong, I did it wrong. There's this whole sense about sort of self-deprecation. It's all about me. It's either all about you or it's all about me. And the me is not it's not an uplifting me. It's not a blissful me for the most part. So it's really, really key as we're moving through the changes in the awakening process, as the Kundalini is lifting in the body. And we've talked about this before. It's so powerful. And I'm going to talk about it, I think, maybe tomorrow night or Friday night, talk more about this Kundalini rising, because Doug G gave us some more insights on that in our minister's call, and I want to share those with you. But as the Kundalini rises, and it really activates the chakras, moving up into the brain activation, more and more will you discover yourself in conflict, because these things have been either hidden from us, they've been in our subconscious, and we haven't, for whatever reason, been able or willing to look at them. But as the Kundalini rises, there's really nothing you can do about it. Once you've started this journey, I mean, there is one thing. You could tell the divine to stop the process. But I am saying to you, do not do that. You may never get back on the train. It's like if you leapt off the train, you may be rolling down the hill, and you may never get back on that train again. So the best thing we can do is basically allow the energies to come through us, release whatever charge is there, and ride the charge, and just allow ourselves to feel it more deeply. And in that feeling of it, it might be, for some people, the charge might be in anger. For some people, we might even go into a rage because there's so much pent-up energy there that hasn't been expressed for many, many years. So obviously, somebody said to me, well, I'm at work, I can't do this. And yes, we can, because we can't act it out. We're not going to sit at our desk and weep for days. For some of you, when you came back from India, I had this. I was just like this, kind of on my couch, kind of letting stuff process through me. But we can do these practices, and this is what Bhagwan is really inviting us to do. If right now we need to give a little effort or effort to create the spaciousness to allow these energies to move through us, but to see what that resistance is, and to feel the feeling, and then see underneath it, how are we resisting that feeling? Do you have a strategy for it? I mean, for me, I laugh about this a lot years ago was my strategy was have some Chardonnay, have a drink, and then I won't have to feel it, whatever it is coming up. I'll feel good about myself instead of not feeling up to whatever it was going on in my life. I looking back on that, I'm like, how could that have been? But it was. But so we have other strategies. We make someone else wrong, all those ego games that we play. Again, look at the ego game video and kind of see where you are on that. Do you need to be right? What's going on? But what's underneath all that, my need to be right, might be because there's some underlying sense of sadness going on that I somehow was, as a child, was not acknowledged. And so instead of going into that pity pot, I sort of took a stance of like, well, I am right all the time, which it's probably not the truth either. Anyway, it's so important for us to look into this resistance and to see it. And it's about, as the Kundalini rises, what's happening is the awareness is becoming much more keen, much more clear, much more intense. And the awakening is in the awareness, when we can be aware. So being able to just take the time in your prayer time daily to be with those feelings that might have come up during the day, and to ask your divine to, say, again, using that beautiful process that Doug gave us, breathing in and relaxing the body, just breathing, inhaling and relaxing the body, and tapping into whatever the feeling is. So I can just tell you right now, because this morning I've got a lot of things stacked up all day, and I've got doing an Om tonight, and I needed to wash my hair. I got my computer, and I was on my computer too long, but I had to wash my, so I've got this kind of like, a little bit of a revved up, overdoing thing going on. So for me, I could breathe in and relax and just notice where that is in my body. And it's kind of like here. It's like it's right up here in my body. So as I breathe in and I relax more deeply, and I inhale and relax, and then as I exhale, I'm going to look at what's the resistance to experiencing this. So immediately what comes up for me is, okay, you have been given this gift to do these ohms, and you need to just take it more seriously. You know, how is it that you could possibly show up with your hair wet? You know, like this is just not acceptable behavior. So that's a kind of an interesting resistance. It's the resistance that says it has to all be perfect. That perfectionist resistance to what is. And I have to say, even just being here with my hair wet, and you know, I mean, I try to show up in a certain way, and that's the self. You know, that's that little vestige of, well, I want to be respectful of the people, but also I don't want to look awful. So there's that resistance in there to even feeling that feeling that I have. And the resistance tells me something. So being deeper, going deeper into the resistance, just allowing myself to feel the feeling of what it feels like to be slightly out of control, to feel like, you know, you don't have it all together, but you're supposed to have it together. Anyway, I'm just kind of giving you a little insight into my own experience, and maybe you can try it out. It's very quick, and it comes, if you're willing to look, it's like right there. So I'm going to go over here and see what we've got, because I love to see what I fear a fear of garbage whenever I touch it. I'm obsessed to wash my hands. Washing is resistance. Well, so, you know, Sarah, this is, you know, this sounds almost like a sort of obsessive compulsive thing that you've got going here. It would be really interesting to, for you to take a look at that. Just one little piece of it. Just one little piece of it. What is it going on about the hand washing? Just feel like if you can't wash your hands, what are you feeling? And what's underneath it? Because this is a big thing. I can't really deal with this right now with you. This sounds pretty intense. And so email me. So blessings on that. Elena, it seems like when resistance becomes strongest, surrender arises. This could be true if we allow our divine. If we are in that space where we're holding this energy with the grace of the divine, yes, the surrender can arise. It's like, it's the helplessness, you know, when we're in that resistance and we realize how helpless we are to go deeper, to experience the what is. The surrender can happen, the helplessness can happen, and the divine can step in. Beautiful. So I'm going to go down here. Oh, there's somebody's translating in German here. Howdy, 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 guys. More translation. Warsaw, Bogomil, lots and lots of good things. Claudia, Mariella, Annette. There's lots of namastes. I'm just even with my hair. Thank you. Yeah, see, it's okay. Yeah, very normal. I am pretty normal. I'm pretty normal. Question. Can you say something about focusing on something which makes it bigger, law of attraction, and focusing on something else in relation to resistance? Yes, I really can say something about that. Apparently, the way the brain works, the more we focus on something, it creates some patterning inside the physical brain. And so not only is there patterning, but like when you put your attention on something, actually more blood flow can happen when there's like it's like a rush of energy in the brain focusing in a particular area. So this is why when Bhagwan is telling us when we have a prayer, we're not focusing on what we don't have. If we want to go to India and we don't right now have enough money in our bank, we don't want to focus on the fact that we don't have enough money in our bank, because that is literally bringing it's creating patterning in the brain about the don't have money in the bank. What we want to do is we want to see ourselves in India. We want to see ourselves wearing those white clothes, meditating on the top floor of the temple. We want to create that kind of patterning with our attention and our focus. So there is that element of brain chemistry, because it's neurotransmitters in the brain that are shifting and focusing, kind of bringing the neurons into a certain alignment. And that's why, all of the teachings that I've done in Unity as a minister have been about this law of mind action, where what you put your attention on is what you get, focusing the energy. Yet that's only part of this transformation that's happening with our awakening, because that does not elevate and allow the presence of our divine and the energy of the divine to move through all this other stuff, the worry energy, what we might think of as negative, like the fear energy, the sense of inadequacy, the sense of whatever parts of ourselves that we have not accepted and really valued. The divine can move through that when we're allowed to see it. We just simply see it and we experience it. It's old patterns that need to be released. So there's kind of a combination of the two, Renee, if that makes sense to you. And that's part of what these prayer process, part of what the prayer notebook that Bhagwan gave us is so powerful. It's part of what happens when we spend a little time every day and focus on the things that we're blessed to have in our lives, the experiences, to be in gratitude, That again is focusing those neurotransmitters and patterning the brain to receive more of that great good in the world. So great question. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful, because the resistance, we're looking at it and we're seeing it. And when we see it, we're moving through it. The grace is moving through it, giving us that experience of it so it can be released. Very different than dwelling in Ain't It Awful on a daily basis. This is a process that doesn't take a lot of time. And it also is not something that I'm inviting you to go in your regular daily life to focus on your resistance. I'm inviting you to look at this as a process, to see it from that witness consciousness. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I want to take one last little look, because I did start out with this other video that I posted, and there may be some comments in here. I wish I would knew how to send those Srimurtis back. It may be Diana's going in April. I'm going in April. January, I'm not taking a trip. January, I am going for the advanced trainer. It's in the middle of the month. It's not the same thing. So I'm going in April. So Diana, come with me in April. Maybe there'll be a way we can get a bunch of Srimurtis and bring them back and send them to you guys. We'll see how that will work. I'll talk to Doug about that. Linda Smith, hi Linda. Okay, so let's see if I see. Anne McGregor, resistance is fear. I fear going into the unknown without support, fear of loss of control. But I'm working on it and I'm getting better. Beautiful. Doing a 4-step on my fears. Fabulous. Yeah. So being aware, again, to see is to be free. And to see doesn't just mean to talk about it. It means to literally have that experience. Not respecting the space, place my husband is in. Interesting. That's a definite resistance. Yeah, that's a hard thing for us sometimes, because we want to put it out on someone else. But to just see what it feels like to be there and see what it is inside us when we are in resistance to how somebody else is showing up in the world. What is it about me that is being stirred up in there? Because the resistance is saying, no, I don't want to feel that. No, I don't want to. It's all about the controller. Look at the email on the controller. Always difficult trusting, especially when there's money involved. Perfect thing to take a look at, Laura. Very, very, when I don't like a person, is that also resistance? When you don't like a person, look inside yourself and see what it is that you don't like. That's where the resistance. Oftentimes, it's because there's a part of you that is like that person that you don't like about yourself, Or it could simply be, as I said in India, they're qualities of another person that we simply don't resonate with, you know? I mean, I don't like violence, so I don't want to be around people who are shooting guns and things. So we're going to go into an Om, because I kind of went over this time. We're going to do an Awakened Diksha, and today I thought we'd use Ganesha. You know, we're just moving through this resistance, and Ganesha's very good at doing that. So what I've got set up is, I've got 2 songs for the Ganesha Invocation by Craig Puis, and then Uma Mahan is a Maha Ganapati Mula Mantra. And so that's going to be 2 pieces, and then that'll be Awakened Diksha. And then we're going to turn off this video, and we're going to put on your the Open Eye Oneness Meditation, and that is going to be all pretty much Uma, 3 Ganapati. Ganapati is the word for Ganesh. 3 chants by Uma Mohan, and then 1 final one by Stephen Devasi, and those are all focusing on Ganesha. So that will be all Ganesha for the Om as well, and then you'll hear the Liberation Sutra indicating to close your eyes. And I want to also say, you know, I noticed when I did a live event last Sunday, sometimes the energies coming through the eyes of the Oneness Meditator are too powerful, and you just need to close your eyes. You can do that. The energies are coming through, and you'll be receiving them even if your eyes are closed. But, you know, since it is an eye-to-eye thing, you want to have your eyes open as you are able to. And if it's just too intense, close your eyes. That's okay. So again, the Awakened Diksha is for your awakening, and as part of your awakening that you may experience the what is, and in that experiencing of the what is, you may find some resistance, and allow yourself to see that, and to invite and invoke the divine to release the energy there by giving you the full experience of anything that's unresolved for you. F-E-A-R, fear, which is what it is for most of us. So I'm going to put the music on, and I'm going to invite anyone who is awakened, who wants to share this Awakened Diksha with me, to please do that.
Namami Vigneshwarapada Pankajam. Namami Vigneshwarapada Pankajam. Mushikavahana Modakahasta. Chamarakarna Vilambita Sutra. Vamana Rupa Maheshwara Putra. Vighna Vinayaka Pada Namaste.
गं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वशमानय स्वाहा। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं ग्लौं गं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वशमानय स्वाहा। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं ग्लौं गं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वशमानय स्वाहा। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्। वशमानय स्वाहा ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं ग्लौं गं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वशमानय स्वाहा ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं ग्लौं गं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वशमानय स्वाहा एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् गं गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वशमानय स्वाहा ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं